apparently I took that to heart as a kid, and I think it's a good thing. You know, and I think, you know, as we can all think back over maybe the last 10 or 20 years, we've all seen lots of things happen, and, you know, maybe we've been stranded on the side of the road, or had a flat tire, or just needed a way to cut a piece of rope, you know, or I can think of one little situation when we were duck hunting, and my brother's brother-in-law started getting hypothermia, you know, and we needed to get a little fire going and get him warmed up, and, you know, defrozen and all that kind of stuff. So I guess I just wanted to just kind of mention that. I think these are kind of a symbol, but I think what's behind it is that we start thinking about the possibilities, you know, just like what if. You can play the what if game. And then just quickly I'd like to mention too that, you know, being prepared is not so unusual 100 years ago. Everybody put up food for the winter. You didn't go out on your horse and buggy without having your warm boots on, and you know, it was just a natural part of life. Everybody thought ahead maybe a whole year or more. You know, it was just part of culture at that time, and in the last, I don't know, 50 years, we've really, certainly in the last 20, we've really drifted away from that kind of thing. Everybody thinks the government or someone else is going to be right there to help us, and that's not always the case. We remember not too many years ago where a gal up in Minneapolis, we're from up Wisconsin way, and she was on her way to work, broke down on a very busy highway, people flying by her, you know, several cars a second probably, and she froze and lost a foot. You know, she didn't have any boots in her car, and so be prepared. You know, we just need to develop that mindset of thinking ahead a little bit. What if? You know, we don't have to be paranoid, but we can kind of just start to develop that mindset. And I think that can include car kits, radios,
get back home bags.
Get back home bags. You know, one of our friends, he terms these things, instead of bug out bags, get back home bags, and I kind of like that. You know, it's like, I don't want to have to go to some stadium somewhere. I want to get home, because I'm prepared there, actually, you know, to a degree. We've got firewood, we've got food, you know, we've kind of thought through some of these things, and we're from an area where you could easily be in the wintertime. Well, we were snowed in for a couple of days, and you couldn't get out if you wanted to. But, you know, it wasn't unusual to be without power here and there, you know, so it's just part of life. Okay, anything you'd like to add, my dear?
No, but I'd like to show bags.
Okay.
Should I start?
Sure.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you about my bag. It looks a little interesting, but these are like little clues I give myself. I'm a flip-flop girl. I spend every moment possible in flip-flops and not sturdy shoes. So I like to carry or keep some good closed-toed shoes close by. So if I had to grab my Go Pack and run, I wouldn't get halfway to somewhere and go, oh my goodness, I'm running through debris in flip-flops. So I keep these with my bag. I don't necessarily need to carry them, but I don't have to go looking for them either. So I keep those right there. I'll tell you a little bit about this bag. First of all, it's not all that big, and I can't get in everything I'd like to have. And the reason for that is because if I had a bigger bag, I wouldn't be able to lift it. So I tried to keep my bag small enough so I could actually lift it and, you know, go a ways with it. Now, I'm not going 10 miles with this bag. I'm planning on bugging out in the car. But if I had to go a little ways, I really could. So with that, I have got my hard hat and a couple of bandanas here. Bandanas are useful for a million things. Everybody should have at least two. Standard hard hat, nothing special about it. Well, actually, it's a 4-point ratcheted hard hat. It'll stay on your head. Got my bandana, number 2. Good for sweatbands, keeping dirt out of your face, wiping off your glasses, straining bugs out of your water if you have to, I don't know. Lots of things. I don't usually have sunglasses because they're prescription and I just never seem to have them. So I do keep a sun visor attached so that if I'm stuck out in the hot sun, I can still see. Water, that's gonna be the number one most important thing. Now, I can't possibly carry enough water. You should have a minimum of a gallon of water per person per day. Obviously, I'm not gonna carry 3 or 4 or 5 gallons of water in my backpack because it weighs 8.5 pounds per gallon. Impossible to carry. But I do have a couple bottles. I also have my little carabiner clip that I had my shoes on here with, and I always have a water bottle with me. It would always be easy to grab. And I hope that if I bug out, it's gonna be with my husband because he's got a water purifier in his backpack. So